What's up, Doc?
You're despicable.
Okay. What's up, you guys? Welcome to another Jake's Movie Reviews, another episode. We got Josh here today.
Hello.
It's another week and another new movie that's coming out this week.
Yep.
Today we're reviewing the standalone sequel to Space Jam, the popular movie that became a cult classic in the 90s. Space Jam: A New Legacy. Everybody get up. It's on the slam now.
Hit 'em high, hit 'em high, hit 'em high. And you low, hit 'em. I love that song. Sorry.
Welcome to the Space Jam.
Man.
Here's your chance. Do your dance.
Yeah.
So in the first movie, guys don't remember, it followed Michael Jordan with his basketball career, and basically he was retired and he went on to playing baseball, which he's kind of all right. Like with playing baseball, he's not that good, but he's still learning, how to be a good baseball player. He was still learning, but then we get these aliens called the aliens called the monsters from Moron Mountain, and that's a good and they are actually morons. So that's actually it's the monsters. Yeah, that was the team, and they invade the Toon World to try and get Bugs Bunny and the rest of the Toons to go to Moron Mountain to get like more like attractions, new attractions, kind of abate like trap them for eternity, and the Toons tells the aliens that, how about we put a little wager? Let's play a one-on-one game of basketball, and then that gives them the idea. They showed them, they're like, what is basketball? I remember there was that blue dumbass alien that I was watching Space Jam this week to prepare for this one, to hype myself up, and that blue alien is still a goddamn dumbass, as I remembered. Yeah. Are we there yet? Yes, you are. So shut up. So when they're like, what is basketball? They the Toons show the aliens like a basketball like documentary, I would say, like this is basketball. That gets them the idea to go to an NBA game, and they steal talent from NBA stars the NBA stars are like being like totally like now the NBA they made the NBA stars look dumb as them, you know. And I remember that damn there was the friggin' orange like the orange guy was like the leader of the whole dumbass squad.
Yeah.
And when you get their talents, they become the Monstars and they look like real basketball players. So Bugs Bunny needs help, and the other Looney Tunes need help. So they get Michael Jordan to play basketball with them, and that's what Space Jam is about. But let's put that aside right now, because today we are talking about LeBron James's point of view of in Space Jam: A New Legacy, which came out today, and this movie is about. So we open up with young LeBron James. How weird is that? How weird is that? And he so like I guess he wants to have like fun more. So there was this kid who gives him like a Game Boy's like a Game Boy Advance. It's like ever see those anymore Game Boy Advances? It's like they're like
Oh no, that was an OG Game Boy. When I saw that, I was like, dude, when was this? When did this scene take place? Or
it
when is
was
this
it
like
was
they're like
nine
because it was like the late
it was
90s, right?
98. It was like 98. It was like
So because the model he was playing was an OG Game Boy, which
it
at that
was.
point would have been 10 years old.
It would, yeah.
And
It
he's sitting there playing Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle, and I'm like,
right.
that's a reference.
Reference. I know it is
That is a
reference.
reference right
And,
there. If
and
y'all have not seen the Angry Video Game Nerd, y'all better go watch his angry review, his review of Crazy Castle. Cause holy
I'm gonna
crap.
I'll do that after Josh. Thank you for that.
Or his birthday blowout, whichever one. Because I mean, like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, good lord, that's a reference, man.
I know, man. That's crazy.
What's that?
And we
Anyway,
anyway,
topic.
and we get the LeBron's like coach is like, LeBron, what the hell you doing, boy? Get on that damn court. And you know, I kind of feel that coach because my basketball coach back in high school, you know, Coach Anthony. Shout out to Coach Anthony. Miss your brother. You're a great coach. Thanks for pushing on me and make myself like feel strong in basketball. But tells him, even though we lost today, LeBron, I know that you're a great kid and I still see potential in you. And I know you're going to be a basketball superstar someday. I could see it in you. It's like we get that motivational talk. And then basically like in the first Space Jam movie, where they, go forward into Michael Jordan's life. They go forward into LeBron James's life. They do the same thing with the opening credits. And Josh, I recognize this. So in the first Space Jam, they when they were saying Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny. In this movie, they don't credit Bugs Bunny in this movie. They just credit like the voice actors in this. And
Oh, yeah, that was interesting. I
was odd.
saw that. I was like, huh,
they made that
interesting.
choice. Well, it was the 90s. It was the 90s. This is
They were like, this is a
2021.
novelty thing, but nowadays they're just like, well, whatever voices.
Yeah. And then we move to the present day where we see so LeBron James' two sons, Malik, who he plays basketball and he knows all the plays, and we get Dom, the younger one out of the two brothers. He he's into his new video game. He likes video games, and he's making a basketball video game called it's called Dom Ball. It's called Dom Ball. So it's good name, since your name is Dom. And LeBron is like trying to push him, and he's like, Dom, it's like, you gotta be practicing basketball, for basketball camp. He expected more out of Dom, even though he liked the idea of his game, but he's like, this. It's like, this is great, but when the whole style's like, with the basketball moves, it's like LeBron's like, this is not real basketball. It's like, this ain't real basketball. Well, it's a video game, it doesn't have.
I mean, I'm sitting here, like, that's the one thing about the movie where I was like, huh? Because he's literally sitting there, he's doing what he loves to do, and it's
Right.
this could be a career for him.
It could be.
Yet for some reason, LeBron is just like, I'm the strict father figure who just based his entire personality on the opening scene, and it's just like, I'm gonna have you play basketball because that's your destiny. And he's like, well, you make me hate basketball. And I'm sitting here like, is this this can't be how LeBron is in real life with his real kids.
It's not.
Like, there's no way.
I'm
he
sure,
can't just sit there and like make other people feel like him. Like,
although LeBron is playing himself, he's playing a fictional version of himself.
It's like, they got, of course they had to write some kind of thing, but I'm sitting here like, there's some moments where it's like I can't help but laugh just because like he's like, oh, meatball my favorite.
I mean, I love spaghetti meatballs too.
And it's just all the little moments of just him being like, hey, you gotta put in work. All right. And it's like as if saying basketball and video games are just inherently the opposite, as if one is work and the other one isn't. Like,
right.
Yeah. We're having the fluid mindset that we're doing. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Well, Dom wants to go to E3 camp, which is a video game camp. And LeBron is like, no, you're going, you got to go to basketball camp.
You got to go to basketball. That's destiny, and I'm your father, and I'm famous. I worked at basketball, so you could be a basketball player too.
Yeah.
Airtight logic.
And LeBron invites his son to go to Warner Brothers because they're making like an animated version of LeBron to appear in like Warner Brother movies. And I want to talk about the antagonist of this film. So we go straight into the Warner Brothers like part. So we get we get Don Cheadle is the antagonist, War Machine. But in this movie, he's Algae Rhythm, which is a play on words of algorithm, in like computer talk. And he's basically, he lives in like what was it called? I think it was Streamverse.
Serververse, I believe.
Serververse. Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Serververse. And it's like, this movie is made by Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers is pretty accurate in this movie, which is very funny.
Well, yeah, Warner Brothers, since Warner now has ties to a multitude of franchises,
right?
Of course, in the same vein as Disney and all that. We'll get
into that. We'll get into that later because that scene. But anyways,
that scene. It's what do you mean? What scene? It's the whole movie.
I know. It's the whole
movie.
But we'll get into that later. But Algae, like he's looking at LeBron and he wants LeBron like to be a part of his presentation. So LeBron goes to Warner Brothers and the whole presentation, and we got Sarah Silverman, which I wasn't expecting her to be in this. I mean,
I sat there and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Sarah Silverman's in this? Like, what is this?
yeah.
I sat there in like disbelief. I was like, oh, so she's like the half co-producer, whatever, half receptionist character. And I'm like, oh, wow, she's in this. All right.
We also got Stephen Yang.
Oh yeah.
Yoon in this. Stephen Yoon. And they're basically, and LeBron didn't like the Warner Brothers like idea for him to appear in this movie. So, excuse me. So Dom like talks to them. It's like I like the idea, and they're like I see a young Steve Jobs, since Dom likes making video games, and Steve Jobs basically in his time he made the computers. He made Apple, he made the Apple computer, he made the iPhone, he made the iPad, made basically every product of Apple basically. And rest in peace to him. God rest his soul. But LeBron still wanted him to play basketball, and that's when we get that scene where they're in the elevator and Dom's like, I want to do what I want. You can't tell me what I want to do. And they go into the serververse. That's when LeBron goes into the serververse. That whole scene, and Algie takes his son and he's like, I want to play basketball with you 101. And if you win, you can have your son back. And basically LeBron James is playing against War Machine in this movie, basically. And then LeBron is sent to the serververse, which we now we'll get into the Warner Brothers properties. We see like Wizard of Oz, we see Game of Thrones, we see Harry Potter, we see DC World, we see, of course, we see Looney Tunes, because that's the main like franchise in this movie. So LeBron goes to the Toon World, and basically it's empty. All of the tunes are gone except for one, which is Bugs Bunny. Basically the main one of the main like Looney Tunes characters, and
the face of cartoons for so many years.
God.
Like
I want to talk about that part. I love the duck season, rabbit season, rabbit season. They did that again in this.
They were like, well, that's your cue, because he was alone. He was sitting there and he was like, I need someone to practice my normal Looney routines with.
Josh, they did the meme. They did the chubby
they did the Big
Bunny
Chungus meme. I lost it when that happened. I was like, they really did that.
I'm like, what? Wait, what the hell?
They really did that. I was like, yo, Big Chungus has Big Chungus reigns supreme.
And then LeBron tells Bugs Bunny his whole problem that his son's been kidnapped by Algie, and now he shouts to basketball, and I need your help. And Bugs Bunny's like, sounds familiar. Where have I heard this from? He's like, oh my God, he basically broke the fourth wall with Space Jam, basically.
I mean, yeah,
Kind of. Kind of.
pretty much.
Isn't this
That's,
whole movie just breaking the fourth wall, basically?
I mean, I mean, because when breaking the fourth wall, is when the characters, it's a moment where the characters are, disassociated, where the disassociation between the audience and the characters that you're watching on screen is broken, and henceforth it allows you to become, part of the experience.
Oh yeah.
It's the kind of thing that Deadpool does all the time. Here, that was like one or two moments.
Oh yeah. One.
There were a couple, like there were. It's not. I wouldn't say the movie breaks the fourth wall the whole way through, because like there were a couple of moments where he was like, "Yeah, gee, where does that sound like?" He referenced the first movie, or there'd be like, "Oh, he's looking at the camera or something." But like, it doesn't happen that often in this movie. What happens in this movie is a crap ton of some of the best references I've ever seen
Yeah.
in anything.
Yeah. So then LeBron and Bugs Bunny. So we get Marvin the Martian, and they hijack Marvin the Martian ship to go find players. Actually, to go find the other Looney Tunes, but LeBron does not know that. And I know, Josh. I noticed I got this first Easter egg I got was like on the ship was A113, and that's usually more in Pixar movies. It's like that's the animation studio of the California Institution of Arts, like where the Pixar animators goes. Like, how does that end? How does that end up in Space Jam and New? That's interesting.
Yeah, there were a ton of just like amazing references in this movie.
We'll do that later. I want to do like one at a time. We had a Star Trek reference with Bugs Bunny, basically mission log, and I love that. That was great. That was a great reference. And we're in it. Let's get into the DC world part. So I like so when Bugs Bunny is like Batman and LeBron's Robin's like, Robin, out of all the DC characters, you picked me as freaking Robin. And they find Daffy Duck, who is dressed up as Superman, trying to be Clark Kent.
Oh, that wasn't the funny part. The funny part is that number one, he cast himself as Superman. Number two, he's staging all of the crimes himself.
I know that is the funniest part. I was gonna get to that, but
that's the most horrible yet at the same time most Daffy thing that he's ever done.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna crash this train into an orphanage.
Yeah,
good lord, man.
Oh god. And he's like, what do you want, Rabbit? What do you want, Rabbit? And Bugs is like, we need you to play basketball. And he's like, I don't want to play basketball. I want to become a member of the Justice League and get a parking spot. And the parking spot. So then after Daffy screws up, he's like, I saved the day, but really the real Superman saved
He was like, I did it. I did this. He did this. He did all of this.
Porky Pig did all of that.
It was all him. Porky, it was all him.
Yeah, it was all him. And I don't know what was the next one, but
I mean there was so many. It's hard to like. You would have
there was Mad Max.
Oh my god!
There was
they went through like they straight up went through Fury Road. I was like, this is genius. How has nobody thought of this yet?
Yeah,
like
they went.
How long has Fury Road been out? Like 5-6 years, and they were like, let's
I
make
think
a
something like
Wile E.
that.
Coyote Roadrunner
I
reference
don't
to them.
know. I
Like,
don't know. Yeah, they freaking went through. Oh my god, Austin Powers, what a classic! Austin Powers, Elmer Fudd as Mini Me. I thought was yay because he's bald, so it works. He's bald.
is sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their head. That's my favorite line of the whole movie. But then they had like, then there were some of the other ones where they were like,
oh my
Yosemite.
god, the freaking Matrix where they find Granny and Speedy Gonzalez.
I gotta give Gabriel Iglesias props, man. That was like with what material he was given with as Speedy Gonzalez. Outstanding job.
Yeah, I know. But off topic, but Gabriel Iglesias has tested positive for COVID. So
yeah, I heard that.
Special prayers for you, Mr. Iglesias, and thank you for all your funny comedy, and we hope you get better soon. Because we don't want to lose a legend like you, brother. So get well, Buffy. Yeah, but he was great in this. And we found Yosemite Sam. Wait, what movie was that? The black and white? I forget what the.
That was Casablanca. That was where she was like, "Sing it, Sam," and because that was one of the characters in that movie he was an African American guy. His name was Sam, and he was a really good piano player.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Sing it, Sam," and then there was Yosemite Sam shows up, and I was like, "Yes."
And we also get Wonder Woman. We found Lola Bunny in Amazon, trying to be an Amazonian.
Lola Bunny. Zendaya as Lola Bunny. By the way, not a bad choice. I'll give her that.
Yeah.
And she's going through the whole thing. She's just going through, testing, she could be in Amazon.
Yeah. Josh, just wanna correct you. It's pronounced Zendaya.
Zendaya, okay. Zendaya.
Yeah, Zendaya, but keep going.
Anyway. Yeah, Zendaya, she, as Lola Bunny, she's going through and she's, testing her strength if she could be an Amazon. And it's literally, she's in front of Wonder Woman, voiced by the legendary Rosario Dawson.
Right.
Like, you must pass these tests. And she's going through, and I'm like, well, I wonder where this is going to go. Right. And it's like, well, you say it's not by one's skill or one's strength, but by one's heart and honesty. And it's like, well, she's an official Amazon now, guys.
Right.
Like, it is confirmed in the DCEU, guys. Lola Bunny, Amazon confirmed.
Amazon, yeah,
I love it.
So they what was? I'll get to the next part, but what was different about Daffy in this? In the last movie, he was a player for the Toon Squad, but in this movie, he's more of the coach. This time in this movie,
I guess a little bit. As a minor detail, but like I guess, yeah, he could have been right. Yeah.
And so they get all the members for the Toon Squad, and Lola is the only one who could do the plays. Basically, everyone is just screwing around, doing their own thing, and apparently Sylvester has been keeping Tweety in his mouth this whole time. And how many? He's like, "What year is it?" That's his first words after he comes out of Sylvester's mouth.
He's just like, "How long have I been in there?"
Mm-hmm.
Probably it's been dark. All I've seen is nothing but darkness.
Probably since the last Space Jam movie, but I don't know. Probably a long time, but
anyway.
So then LeBron's family find out that he's missing, and they're like, where is LeBron? And they're giving the other guy, what the hell was his name?
Who?
Malik. Oh wait, no, that other character, the older son was Darius, not Malik. I got characters mixed up.
Yeah, Darius.
Yeah, Darius.
Darius.
Yeah. But Malik is like LeBron's childhood friend. And he worked with, actually he was in the beginning too, a young Malik. And he works with Warner Brothers, and he's like, look, LeBron's life is giving me a hard time because his son and LeBron are trapped in the serververse. And yeah, so they get to team together, and LG even gets all of the like NBA. So we got NBA stars in this, and we got the real ones too, but the fictional ones in the game are actually real NBA players voiced by the real NBA players. We got I want to say all of them. We got first off, we got Klay Thompson as himself and Wetfire, and his character is inspired by the Splash Brothers, nickname given to the trio of Thompson and Steph Curry.
Yes.
Yeah, and then and that I thought Wetfire was cool, you know, because water and fire.
Because he's wet and he's fired. Like,
yeah.
Wow.
And we got Anthony Davis, the brow, the male Harvey like Goon Squad character, and he was named after Davis's nicknames. And we get Damian Lillard as Kronos, a speedy robotic Goon Squad member. And this character was inspired by Lillard's basketball name, Dame Time. So little fun fact about that. And we get Diana Teresa as White Mamba, Naga-like Goon Squad member. The character is inspired by Teresa's basketball name, White Mamba. So that's practical, very practical. Then we got, I want to pronounce her name right, but I don't know if I can. Nika Aquamike, I think is. It's like it's foreign. I don't know if I got that right. A spider-like Goon Squad member named after Aquamike. Yeah. And also, I forgot to mention this. There are two characters that make a cameo in this movie, and holy shit, I was not expecting this. Rick and Morty make a cameo in this,
and they actually talk. I was like, "This is
Justin.
What has just happened?"
Rowland. It's Justin freaking Rowland, and it's like, I'm Pickle Rick, love, dub. Look at me, Morty, I'm a pickle. And literally, now I'm thinking of Morty, we're in Space Jam, a new legacy, Morty. It's like, it was Rick and it was Morty. They both only had like, actually Rick had two things to say. Morty only said one thing, you know.
They got a couple lines.
They had a couple lines,
but like
their part was very short, but still was not expecting that at all. Thanks, Warner Brothers. Was not expecting that, but thank you.
That was a treat.
Then the game happens. And I want to say all the references now that we get, like when the basketball game happens. So Josh, you're gonna flip your shit when you hear this. King Kong is in this movie. King Kong.
Well, I know. I was like, it's.
So
I know. I see. I mean, I saw the movie. I was like, oh my god, King Kong and Iron Giant.
we got Iron
Game of
Giant. We got
Thrones.
We got Wizard of Oz. I already said that. And we
the
got
Hanna-Barbera stuff, like
oh, yeah.
Flintstones and
And
Jabberjaw.
we got the Animaniacs.
I didn't see them. I was looking for them and I couldn't find them.
So Yakko, Wacko, and Dot are among the spectating Warner Brother characters. So they're in there somewhere. They're in there
somewhere, but like they didn't get a whole thing and be like, no.
We got the Goonies, and we got Jack Nicholson's Joker from Batman. We got Danny DeVito's Penguin.
A mask.
A
dude who was trying to be Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze, but like, and they were.
We got the Men in Black characters. We got Harry Potter. I said already. We got Kangaroo Jack, Teen Titans, Ben 10.
God. Kangaroo Jack was a trip, man.
We got 300. We got Game of Thrones characters. We got the Conjuring. I didn't see that, but
there was a nun. Yeah, there was a nun, and that was the reference. She just looked like a normal nun. It was like
I don't know if I was trippy, but I saw Pennywise in this from It.
Yeah, I know. He was like the one. He was the one that was shown in the crowd probably the most often.
Yeah.
Outside of Mr. Freeze.
And we got the high five from Ready Player One, which is funny because this movie is kind of like Ready Player One almost, with all these references.
I would say there are some references here that are like they're more obvious and they're more like they linger on some of them more, I guess you could say. But I mean, of course, Ready Player One had like a Shining and Mechagodzilla and Gundam, and it was like,
right.
And the Iron Giant as well. So like,
oh my god, I'm looking at this and I do not see this. We get characters from Smallfoots. I mean, okay, why? But I guess they're owned by Warner Brothers. Like
I never heard of it.
I don't know. It's an anime movie by Warner Brothers. It's called Smallfoots. Basically, And Zendaya is also in it. Fun fact. And we saw. I still need to see this movie. A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, Alex and his Droogs. Oh my gosh. Singing in the insert R word. I'm singing in the insert R word.
Rain. And we get to
oh no, it wasn't rain in the movie. It was another word, but we're not going to say it.
Probably not appropriate for this video.
No. Let's move on.
Yeah,
move
on. We get the Jetsons, we get Yogi Bear, we got Fred Flintstone, Yabba Dabba Doo.
All the Hanna-Barbera stuff.
Hanna-Barbera stuff.
Jabberjaw and all that.
Jabberjaw. And that's basically it. Let's get back into the movie because those are all the pop culture references. I want to also say, so before we get back to the movie, there was a scene where we also got we had Kyle Irving, Chris Paul, and Draymond Green, and Kyle Kuzma make a cameo appearances, and Chinny Agu Mike makes an appearance in this. Those are NBA players, and Ernie Johnson and Little Rel Howery. Little Rel. We're seeing a lot of Little Rel. I remember watching Fatherhood, the movie of Kevin Hart. Little Rel was in that.
Yeah.
He was in Good Boys, that movie, Good Boys. I don't remember Little Rel's getting like a lot of recognition now. He's famous. And he was in this as like a commentator, basically. And this was this scene. So Sylvester thinks he finds Michael Jordan in the audience. So there's this whole like big moment. Michael's back. Although it's not Michael Jordan. It's the actor, Michael B. Jordan. What a fail. What a fail.
That was one of the funniest parts.
I know.
I was like, they didn't. But then I was like, this has to be a joke, right? And turns out it was a joke, and I was like, there's no other way they could have done this. This is great.
Yeah, and he was like, sorry.
Instead, you got Michael B. Jordan. It's like,
he's like, yeah, sorry, it had to be this way, guys. So I was just in the audience, like eating popcorn, but I'm rooting for you guys to win, And the whole game was like, so Algie said if LeBron wins, he gets his son back, the Tunes can come back, but if he wins, all the spectators have to stay, and all the humans have to stay in eternity in the serververse, and the Looney Tunes get deleted. It's like, what? You can't do that. They're
extreme. That's like under most.
They're too iconic. You can't do that.
Under most human circumstances, that would be illegal.
I know.
That'd be considered 100th degree, no, like negative first degree, kidnapping, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and so they play basketball. So I don't want to give any more away. I think that's it as of right now. So actually, let's get into our question of this video. Favorite Looney Tunes characters. We got a lot of them. And there's some in this movie that have been removed for controversy reasons. So favorite Looney Tunes character. I'll go first. I'm a Bugs Bunny guy. I like Bugs Bunny. And of course Daffy Duck, and I like Porky Pig and Yosemite Sam because he gets really angry and he shoots those guns when he's angry, and he looks funny. Yeah, all the Looney Tunes characters are good. They're good. But who's your favorite, Josh, out of all of them?
I mean, like Bugs and Daffy are two obvious ones because like they're two of the most iconic.
The dynamic duo.
They're two of the most iconic cartoon characters in all of film, TV, media history. Like they're almost untouchable. Like
they are untouchable.
But like, if I have to give it to at least outside of those characters, there are three that come to my head.
Okay.
That I actually like.
Let's hear them.
Lola Bunny.
Cool.
Who's the other one? Speedy Gonzalez and Foghorn Leghorn. I don't know. It's something about Foghorn.
I said,
I resemble that remark. I said, what kind of a show you running here? I love him.
He's a fun character. I like Foghorn too. But yeah, who's your favorite Looney Tunes character? Let me know in the comments below. And basically throughout the whole movie, LeBron's trying to win this game, and he tells the Tunes not to be loony, but it's hard for them not to do that because they're Looney Tunes. You know, they
The
have
idea of, you know, you got to be
it's
yourself. You got to do you. That's
it's
kind
true.
of just what the whole movie rides on is, you know,
It's
just
their
let
job.
people do them, you know?
Yeah. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I rate this a 7.9 out of 10. It was almost an 8 out of 10. It was great. Love the pop culture references and all the references from Warner Brothers. It was good, but it's just the best movie out of the summer. It's good. I wouldn't say it's the best. I mean, there's other movies in the category, but it's very good, and it's a good standalone sequel to Space Jam. Not a sequel to Space Jam. It's just an individual standalone like sequel, but it does make references from the Space Jam first movie from 1996, you know. So Josh, what do you rate it? 1 for 10. What would you rate it?
This is another one where I think I might have to give it 2 ratings. One for like objective quality, and then the
Okay.
other for entertainment value.
Let's
for
get
objective
good entertainment.
for objective quality, I give it like a 6.5.
Okay. 6.
Like in terms of quality, like it's not the best. It's one of those like it clearly it's like, you know, it's meant to be that sort of super fun happy time movie that you just it's like one of those feel good, you know, movies that has a ton of references in it. But for entertainment value, my god, I gotta give this at least a 9.
Oh, okay.
For sheer entertainment value, this was the most fun I'd had in a movie, like, you know, watching a movie since Godzilla versus Kong. And like I like, 'cause I was shocked at how much fun I was having. It has its modern isms of like, oh, we gotta have this part, we gotta have some things changed, and we also gotta include some of like these super like polished modern effects, and we gotta include some of these little joke isms, the modern joke isms that you can kind of notice. But like some of the jokes were pretty clever, and it's so nice to see a movie that's at least a third two-dimensional animation.
Right.
Like this was, I think this was the first movie. I don't want to say it was the first movie of its kind, but like it was so refreshing to see that kind
There's
of
a
movie
lot of
since
movies
movies
that are
like,
like that.
because I mean, you have your Who Framed Roger Rabbits, you have your OG Space Jams, and you have your SpongeBob movies. But like, I think the SpongeBob movie did it in a way that was kind of different. This one felt like it was going back to that Space Jam style, because nowadays you have a whole bunch of movies where it's like they ride off of the 3D animation train, and like seeing something that's hand drawn for once, I was like, yes, give me all of that. And then when they became 3-dimensional, and then they were like, this means war, and I was like, yeah. I love that this movie is self-aware enough to recognize that. And it's just, this movie does have a lot of fun with what it like with given all of the quirky stuff about it. It has a lot of fun with what it tries to, you know, come across with all the references and some of the jokes.
Another thing I forgot to mention, I like when LeBron like falls to the Toon World. When he falls, we get the Nike symbol.
Like falls in the basketball hoop, and then the Nike signal. I think my only gripe with the movie, like my only serious gripe, is that like the soundtrack is not like,
it's good. I love the soundtrack.
Because personally, I was hearing this and I was like, you know, the soundtrack in this doesn't ring a bell to me as nearly as much as the original soundtrack did, just because the original soundtrack was like, it was like it defined a generation.
Yeah.
Like it was so,
I mean, maybe years from now, this soundtrack will do the same. Like, too, maybe.
like there was like it had its own CD. I listened to that CD all the time. It was great. And like there were guest stars on it and yada yada yada. And I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this soundtrack and I'm like, well, there's a lot of classic like, John Williams and Danny Elfman and Michael Giacchino themes, I think. Just like they brought back a lot of those, and I'm like, that's great. But then there were like some of the other songs where I was like, eh. I do have to say that Porky bit was great.
Oh yeah, Notorious.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is how am I enjoying this? This Porky rat bit is great.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say. So there is a soundtrack, and we got Little Baby and Franklin. We got 24K Golden and Lil Wayne. We got Chance the Rapper. We got John Legend. We got Simba. We got Swatty. We got Salt and Peppa. Salt and Peppa made the soundtrack list for Space Jam: New Legacy. We got Cash-Doll. We got Little Uzi Vert. We got Saint Shan. I don't know. We got Saint JHN. We got SZA. We got John Legend again in another song. We got the Jonas Brothers. We got Little Tecca. We got Anna Monet. We got Dame Dalla, G-Eazy, P-Lo, White Dave. We got Brockhampton, Cordy, Duckworth, Big Frida, Joyner Lucas, Leon Bridges, and Anthony Ramos, who you might know from In the Heights.
Ah, yes.
As Usnavi.
Yeah.
And that's basically the whole soundtrack. So
I mean, like much respect to guys like John Legend and Anthony Ramos. Like I love those guys.
yeah, Ramos.
I'm just sitting here and I was like, you can't touch. If I hit him high, hit him high, hit him high, and you hit him low, it was like Busta Rhymes, Coolio, LL Cool J, man. But like that, I mean, again, that's just me. I mean, there were a couple songs here and there where I was like, okay, it's kind of cool. But I mean,
Yeah. Anyway, we'll close off the review soon. I like this movie. I can watch. I can see myself watching this movie as much as I can. It had like a good start and a good ending, which I'm not gonna say because that's gonna be spoiling it. I want you guys to enjoy it. So yeah, I thought this was an enjoyable movie. I'm gonna watch it again with my family tonight, and hopefully I think they will enjoy it because they grew up with Looney Tunes, and I'm sure anyone who grew up with Looney Tunes, they'll like it, or maybe they'll have pros and cons like against it. Yeah, this is a good standalone sequel to Space Jam. Although this is like more like high tech than what Space Jam had.
Yeah, well, instead of outer space, the alien guys, it's an AI, basically.
Funny. Oh, I forgot to mention is the aliens or the Monstars from Moron Mountain. They make a cameo.
Yeah.
A short cameo.
That was another one where I was like, oh, nice.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, how the hell did they make it in this movie? Well, I guess they're in it.
Same reason the Gremlins made it.
Oh,
I don't know. Gremlins made it in the movie. I was like, yes. Give me more of this.
Right.
But
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyways, this movie is good with all the pop culture references. They use a lot, but it's a good amount. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I guess we touched pretty much everything we wanted to for this review. Anyway, I can't believe it's it's already. Oh, and we got Paul Julian as Roadrunner as our archive recordings, and Wile E. Coyote did not have any lines, as usual.
So he's a mute. Yeah.
He just has the signs, the signs. And Gossamer was also in this, but Gossamer doesn't talk. Does Gossamer? I mean, Gossamer talked in the Looney Tunes show, but does Gossamer ever talk?
I don't think Gossamer makes. I think he just makes sounds. I don't know if he actually talks. I don't think he does.
He doesn't. Oh,
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Well, that's weird because they made him talk in the Looney Tunes show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I saw a new subscriber. Hit that subscribe when you're new here. So the little bird won't run away. I gotta get that Tweety bird. Like this video, favorite, and share it. And a comment down below anything, or be very, very quiet. I'm hunting wireless. We did not get that joke, sadly, in this movie, sadly. But we still got Duck season rapping season, so that's good enough, and don't forget to subscribe to my brother Josh, the real deal here. Yeah, he's got Halloween Kills trailer reaction and Shang-Chi and Legend 10 Rings trailer 2 reaction already up. He's working on Army of the Dead and Jurassic World Dominion. And those should be up. When are those going to be up? Do you know?
Oh, the upcoming reactions on the Army of the Dead stuff. That should be soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be pretty soon. I don't have a set
working on it.
But I'm working on it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do a collab with Josh for his channel. Yeah, and anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time, and I'll see you in the future. Oh, don't forget to check out our Black Widow review, Monsters at Work episode 3 review, High School Musical, the musical, the series episode 10 review. We'll be doing episode 11 next week, and we're doing episode 4 next week for Monsters at Work. All of our Loki reviews. Yeah, and none said. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time, and we'll see you in the future. Peace! And don't forget to rock on! That's all, folks. That's all, folks. You can go. You can go watching our video. Video's over. See ya.